Hi everyone, good morning. I'm on the East Coast here. It's really cold. It's 39 degrees Fahrenheit here. So it's cold. But it's nice. It's nice. I love Christmas. I had a good Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving if you're living in the US. If not, if you're in Australia or New Zealand or India or UK, Germany, wherever you are, you missed out on our Thanksgiving here in the US. It was fun. It was beautiful. But today is the second part of how to lower your cost across your entire supply chain. Remember, 2 weeks ago, I went through part one. Today, we're going to go through part two, and we're going to talk about how to calculate your true cost of goods. So many people sell online, they think they're making money, but they are not making money. You're just cycling money. You think you're making money, but no. So today we're going to dig deeper into what are the costs you're ignoring in your business that could make or break you. The goal of this session is to take a hard look at every cost that is involved in your e-commerce business, okay? It's to help you. As a 3PL owner and operator here, I see so many costs that people could avoid. I see so many things that people pay for that could have been avoided by just doing some simple things, right? So today I'm going to dig deep. Please forward this link or forward this message to your friends or to your group, your mastermind group, because in 2022 you don't want to make the same mistakes like you made in 2021 or 2020. That's why when buyers are looking into your business, they want to buy your business, and they start to dig deep into your numbers. They start to find that your business doesn't worth as much as you think it worth, because there are some numbers you're not looking at. I get many people send me the numbers, of the business, and the data, and I'm looking at all the spreadsheet. I'm like, what about this cost? What about this cost? Is not here. So, okay, I forgot that. So these are numbers that I want you to be aware of. Many people may not tell you this, but the goal here at HONU is just to help you out to have a very profitable business, okay? We're not perfect, but anything I can share that can help you out, I will share with you, okay? That's my promise. So we're going to go into part two today on how to calculate your true cost of goods. Again, you have to and share this video or this live with your friends, please, so that they can also learn about these things we're about to go into. Okay. All right. So we can share our slides, Kelsey. Awesome. All right. So how to lower your cost across your entire supply chain. I'm going to do a quick recap of what we did in the last session, in case you weren't at the last session. I'm going to do a quick recap, okay? There's so much to cover that we had to make this into a two-part series. So I did the first part last week, 2 weeks ago, and then this is the second part, all right? All right, part one was what to plan for in 2022. I went through a lot of things. You should never, ever take lightly in 2022. As an Amazon seller myself, this is what I go through every day as well. And anytime I see something that could help my fellow Amazon seller, I tell them, look, guys, this is what to do. This is what you don't do, okay? So what to plan for in 2022, we talked about that. So go look at the video, go watch the video. I think it's on YouTube now. Go watch the video for what I did 2 weeks ago, right? It's very important because it's a prerequisite for the one I'm doing now, all right? Okay, so part two will be how to calculate and lower your true cost of goods. How to calculate and lower your true cost of goods. If you've been listening to me for a while, you will know that I like to keep things really simple. If I can if my 11-year-old cannot understand what I'm about to say, then I need to work hard to make sure that I simplify it and keep it really simple and stupid. All right. So that's what my goal is today, to really keep it very simple. And you can watch this over and over again, right? How to calculate your true cost of goods. A quick recap for last week. What is supply chain? Everybody's now talking about supply chain here, supply chain there. Everybody's talking about it. What is it? It's simply the process of sourcing, manufacturing, and moving your products from your suppliers to your customers or to your end users in an efficient and cost-effective way. In an efficient and cost-effective way. It's got to be efficient. It's got to be smooth. It's got to be seamless. And it's got to make you money. It's got to save you money. If you have a supply chain that is leaking, or have a supply chain that is not making you any money, you're leaking like crazy, reach out to me. We'll help you see what we can do about it. All right. So that's supply chain. Simply the process of sourcing, manufacturing, and moving your products from your suppliers to your end user in an efficient and cost-effective way, right? Okay, that's our recap. And then I showed you this map, how products come from buying raw materials, and the raw materials to the supplier, and then the manufacturer, and if you have a distributor in the middle, and then to retailer, which is your Amazon, and then to the consumer. See that cycle? That's the supply chain cycle, right? So that's just a graphical illustration of what a supply chain is, right? Okay, now let's go to part 2. Whew, let's do it. What's your COGS, or cost of goods sold? What is your COGS? You talk to your accountant tells you about your COGS, or your aggregator, or whoever is going to buy your business. They're always talking about COGS. Oh, let's look at the COGS. Let's look at these. So my definition of COGS. This is Afolabi's definition of COGS. If you don't want to lose your shirt. Okay, it's my definition of COGS. You have to bear all this cost in mind, so that you wouldn't be making a lot of money thinking you're making money, but you're really not making any money in your e-commerce business. Okay, this is Afolabi's version of cost of goods. Look at that list. I bet you most people selling online, they look at the first one. They look at the supplier's X work price. They say, oh, my supplier price plus the cost of shipping is my cost of goods. No way. Look at all these, and I'm going to explain every one of these costs to you. This is all the fees you have to add into your cost of goods. Remember, we're thinking supply chain, we're thinking global, we're thinking a whole system here, right? We don't want to leave any cost out. So the price you get from your supplier is the first component of your cost of goods. Now, are you getting X work price, or are you getting FOB price? That's one thing you have to know. If you're getting X work price, then you have to factor in the origin, loading, and transportation cost into it. If you're getting X work price, that's why, I listed X work price first. I didn't put FOB. If I put FOB, then I would not need to put this number 3 there, right? So I was trying to come up with a calculator, like an Excel sheet, and I'm still working on it. My goal is to share with you guys different scenarios of different products, and then you just plug in your product price and plug in some numbers, and it will spit out your true cost of goods, right? So the first component is your supplier's X works price. X works just means that your supplier will make the products and they'll keep it in their warehouse, and then you have to figure out how to transport that product from the supplier's warehouse onto the port of departure. So let's say your product is made in Shenzhen in China, or Shanghai in China. Your product is made, and then your supplier tells you, oh, we're done, your product is ready to go. then you have to call your forwarder, and your forwarder has to arrange for your product to be picked up at your supplier's facility and transported to the port of China, the closest port of China, and then be loaded onto the ship and then taken to the final destination, right? So Ex Works price means that you are responsible for taking your product from the supplier's facility all the way. But FOB price just means free on board. That means your supplier will help you to take care of all those loading and transportation all the way till it gets to the port of departure. So Ex Works price will be lower than the FOB price. I did a lot of training on Ex Works price versus FOB price. So you can check it out on our website, or you can check it out on our YouTube channel. You should be able to find. I also did some with Chelsea, So Stocked. So Stocked is an inventory management software. It's by far the best inventory management software that I know. My wife runs our 3PL center here, and she tells me hands down, So Stocked is the best inventory management software out there. It covers so many things. I'm not selling it. I just want you to know, if you really, really want to drill into this supply, into this cost of goods. Actually, I spoke to Chelsea the other day, and they are building, they're introducing some new models into SoStock that actually would drill down, would put all this cost that I'm about to talk to you about, it would put it into SoStock for you. So reach out to them. I don't know the full details. I think it's still in incubation, or they're about to release it. So they would be able to give you all that information. Anyway, supplier Ex Works price. The next cost component is inspection fees. Inspection fees. So let's say you you make your product and you don't know if the supplier made any mistake or not. How do you know? You don't want to ship a defective item all the way from India or China or Malaysia and ship it all the way to your 3PL and realize that, oh my gosh, half of my goods are bad. So, right, you have to inspect your product, especially because of this global pandemic. A lot of suppliers have been dropping the ball lately. You need to do inspection. Inspection is now part of your cost of goods. It's no longer optional. No longer. We have a sourcing service, and now we're mandating everybody to do inspection. Whether you do it with us or do it, I don't care. Just do inspection, okay? If you don't want to get into trouble with your products in the future, if you don't want to get bad customer reviews, you have to do inspection. So inspection is now part of your cost of goods. Number 3, origin, loading, and transportation cost. If you're buying Ex Works price, you need to add your origin, loading, and transportation. That means to load it from your supplier's facility into the container or whatever and transport it to the port of departure. You have to add it into it. The next one is your ocean or air freight cost. So you have to pay the guy that has this big ship that is going to move your product across the world to either Europe or the US or wherever marketplace you're selling at. You need to pay that. So you have to add in your ocean cost. Then you have to add in your freight forwarder's charges. So your freight forwarder is the middleman. It's the one that coordinates your products from being picked up from your supplier all the way till it gets to your facility, whether it's your 3PL, your garage, or wherever you're storing your products. Your freight forwarder is responsible for that, and he has some charges like the clearing charges, the documentation fees, the import entry fees. They have, if you're working with a fraudulent freight forwarder, they have a laundry list of charges they can charge you. Those charges don't make any meaning. So if you get bills, if you get a bill from your freight forwarder and you see all these NST, DSV, LLL, PPP fees. Most of them are just gimmicks. They're just fraud. They're not real. They're just using it to to suck money out of you. That's why I advise people to go with companies that wouldn't come up with all those fictitious fees just to suck you dry. All right. So watch out for those freight forwarders fees and charges. Most of them might be they're not real, fraud. Anyway, destination tariff cost. This is one of the biggest, if not the biggest cost you should look into. Some people, when some people are researching what products to sell online or what products to sell on Amazon, they're so quick to look at the price of the product from Alibaba and they say, oh, I should go for this product. No, don't go. Don't pull the trigger just yet. You need to know the destination cost. You need to know the destination tariff cost. If you're bringing it into the US, there is a tariff import duty you have to pay to the US government. It could be as high as 33 to 35% of your product. So let's say you spend $20,000 on your products manufacturing, you may be coughing out $5,000 to $6,000 more just on tariff. We're about to roll out a service at HONU that is our old price checker service, but right now we've reinvented it to make it better. That means if you are researching products and you don't know what product, if your product will be profitable or not, you just send us the products you're researching. We will help you check the correct tariff cost. We'll help you check the pricing of this product before you even start to pull the trigger at a very reduced price, okay? So we're rolling that out in January, which is next month of 2022. We're cooking it now. It will be live next month. So destination tariff cost. Before you decide to buy any product, I see people go ahead and order products, thousands of products, they bring it to the US, and at the port of entry, they realize how much tariff their product is going to cost, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't afford to make any money on this product. They just abandon it. I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'm not doing it anymore. Right? You don't want to get yourself in that situation, okay? All right. Please feel free. Write your questions down as I'm going through all these things. Please write your questions down. We're going to go into Q&A soon. I love to answer your questions. If I don't have any answer for you for a question, I'll go research it and then we'll post it, on our maybe on our YouTube channel or something. Okay. I don't know it all. There's some things I don't know. I'll go search it for you and then I'll let you know. All right. The next component is your trucking from port of destination to your 3PL or your warehouse. Think about it. Once your product arrives at the port, maybe it's the port of New York, New Jersey, or the port of Long Beach or Los Angeles or wherever, how does it get to your 3PL? How does it get to your warehouse or your garage, wherever you're going to store it? So you have to factor in that trucking cost as well. Then the unloading, palletizing, and put away charges. So this is this could really put a dent on your budget. When your products arrive at the 3PL, they open the container, and then what happens? Is the product going to fly from the container straight into the warehouse? No. You need some heavy muscle people to unload these products into the pallet, and they have to check it to make sure the products are in good condition. If the boxes are broken, you have to tape it or transfer your product. At least that's what we do in our 3PL. I don't know if other 3PLs do it. We receive your product, we check it, make sure everything is good. If they're not good, we take a photo. Immediately, we take a photo, send it to you and say, go get your money back from your supplier or go get your money back from your shipper because this product arrived damaged or wet or whatever condition this product come in, we always take a photo and we write a report and send it to you immediately before it's too late so that you can file for the charges, okay? All right, so your products are unloaded from the container, and then we put them on pallets, we sort them. If you have multiple SKUs, we have to sort them on a different pallet so that when you're sending it out to Amazon or you're shipping it out to your final destination, they're already prepped and ready to go, okay? We wouldn't waste any time or have any extra fees on doing that. We want to prep it. Our goal is to prep your product to handle it as less as possible, okay? And then the put away charges, which is to put it on the rack and stuff like that. All right, the next component is your monthly storage, right? You have to know the dimensions of your product, how much space it's going to occupy. One way to calculate your product dimensions or volume is to go to a site called CBM Calculator. I like it, CBM Calculator. I also heard another website is called onpallet.com, but I use CBM Calculator a lot. And actually, we're trying to incorporate such calculator into our 3PL website that will come out next year as well, so that guys can always go to our website, punch in your product dimension, and see how much storage you're going to be paying on a monthly basis. We want to try to be as transparent as possible so that before you go ahead and start ordering products and wanting to sell products, you need to make sure that you will make profit. There's no point ordering products that you're not going to make any money on, okay, guys? We would make this calculator available. I'm working on these are the things that have been keeping me busy all these months, so that, we will be a one-stop shop for you to make sure that everything is covered for you and help you take care of stuff. So that's your monthly storage. How many months are you going to store your product? It's a big component. If you're only storing for 1 month or 2 months, or if you're sending your products to Amazon, whatever, it's going to really determine how your cost of goods will be. The next component is 3PL outbound prep and loading charges. So when you're about to send your product out of your 3PL to Amazon or to your end users, what are the costs involved? And then the last one is your Amazon freight charges, or your trucker. If you're going to truck it to somebody or somewhere, what are the charges? All these is what you should add into your cost of goods. See, all those charges, and then you divide them by the product quantity. So let's say you ordered 5,000 units of a product, and then it is at $2 a piece from your supplier, and then you inspect it at 10 cents a piece, and then your origin, loading, and transportation cost is another 2 cents a piece, and then your ocean freight cost is maybe $7,000. So you divide 5,000 units by $7,000, or vice versa. You divide $7,000 by 5,000 units. That tells you $1 something is what you ship the unit, right? And then you go to your tariff. How much tariff or import duty are you paying for that product? If it's at 10%, then you're going to pay extra 50 cents on that product. You see how your cost of goods is adding up real quick? And then your freight forwarders charges could be around $250 to $300 per entry. So you divide that by your 5,000 units, and then you go into trucking from port to your 3PL, which is about $1,500 to $1,600 if you're shipping a full container. No matter what kind of container you're shipping, whether it's a 20-footer or 45-footer, it's the same price, $1,600. It used to be $750, $850 last year. Now it's about $1,600, right? Divide that by 5,000 units. That's what you're going to get. And then your 3PL unloading, palletizing, put away charges could be as much as $1 per case or per carton. So if you're shipping 750 carton, know that's $750, right? And then divide that by the number of quantities in the carton, will tell you exactly what you're paying per unit. And then your monthly storage, are you going to store it for 1 month? Sometimes I would like you to calculate 3 months storage. So if it's going to cost you 3 cents or 30 cents a piece, just say it's going to cost you 90 cents for the 3 months. You may use it the whole 3 months. You may not use it the whole 3 months. Just prepare for 3 months of storage, okay? Here at our 3PL, we don't like to store anything over three months unless it's a special thing, special case. Then your outbound prep charge and the Amazon freight charges, you divide all that by the product quantity. That will give you your almost accurate cost of goods. Almost accurate cost of goods. It's not going to be accurate, but it's almost accurate. Okay. All right. So when you're calculating your cost of goods, your true cost of goods, there are some factors that makes the equation very tricky. And I've seen a lot of calculators, out there trying to help you calculate your cost of goods. There are some things they're not looking at in those calculators. I see them, I'm like, no, this is wrong. This is not enough. An average Amazon seller pays way more than this. Now look at the scenarios. Like, before you divide your product by quantity, you have to know the dimension or the volume of each product. How much space does it occupy? What if you ship multiple products? What if you ship this mug and then you ship, what other things can I show that you ship? Something little, you ship the mug and you ship this. 2 different products, 2 different volumes. What if you ship it together? How would you calculate your volume? See, those are the tricky parts of your cost of, because the cost of shipping this is not the same as the cost of shipping this. A piece of these will cost less to ship a piece of this. But if you ship them together, how do you calculate how much you're paying? That goes back to CBM or cubic feet. A cubic meter, a cubic feet. You have to go granular. You have to go to, okay, product A occupied 79 cubic meter in this container. Product B occupied whatever, 60, another 30 cubic meter in this container. Then you use that to calculate the exact shipping charge for this product A and the shipping charge for product B. Okay? All right. Are you shipping a full container or you're shipping a LCL? LCL just means less than a full container or less than a container load. Are you buying FOB or XWalk? I talked about that. Is your forwarder charging you per CBM for shipping, or how is it charging you? Is your freight DDP, or you will pay duty at entry? DDP just means it's prepaid duty. That means your forwarder or your supplier already prepaid your duty and added it into the cost of your shipping. Are you shipping direct to Amazon, or you're going to stop over at your 3PL for a few months before you now ship it to Amazon, or before you ship it to your end user? Or are you shipping it to your house? You're shipping it to your warehouse? Different factors. These will affect your cost of goods. Is there any other prep services needed? Are you going to, bundle, or are you going to kit your product? Are you going to take one product A and product B and bundle them together to make a whole kit? That's going to affect your cost of goods, because every time a 3PL touches your product, there's a charge. It may be 25 cents, it may be 50 cents, per bundle, per kitting, whatever it is, you have to add it to your cost of goods, right? right? Are you going to do FBM? That's fulfilled by merchant. Are you going to do fulfilled by merchant? Are you going to have your 3PL pick, pack, put it in an envelope, or put it in a bubble wrap, or put it in a box to ship it to your customers? Is that what you're doing? If you're going to do that, there's a cost to that, right? Will you store everything on Amazon, or you're going to drip feed it into Amazon little by little? You have to factor in that cost. Did your products arrive intact? Remember I told you the other time that some products get here and we have to repack them, we have to rebox them, we have to fix some things. Some of them, the screws may be loose. Some of them, the packaging may have issues. We have to redo everything, right? So the condition by which your products arrive is going to affect your cost of goods as well, okay? So I did make some, in lieu of this, I did make some assumptions and some, how do I call it? Some words of wisdom to bear in mind with your true cost of goods. The number one is your cost of goods will change from time to time. It will change. Like in 2019, your cost of goods was different. In 2020, your cost of goods was different. 2021 is different. 2022, it will be different. So you cannot continue to sell the same product that you were selling $22.50 on Amazon in 2019 and still be selling it at the same price in 2021, 2022. You're going to lose your shirt that way, right? You have to look at your cost of goods and add in a buffer. So if your cost of goods, after you add all those gazillion costs that I just showed you, it comes up to be $3.50, I will need you to add another buffer of about 10% on top of that. That will be, to kind of cushion it a little bit, right? So in reality, your cost of goods will change from time to time. It will never be the same. It could actually change from quarter to quarter as well. Number two, your cost of goods may never be 100% accurate. It may never be. It may be 95, 96, 98%, but it would never be 100% accurate. So just bear in mind and don't beat yourself up over it. Just get as close as possible, to your real cost of good. And everybody knows in the business world that, there are just some variable costs. There's just some, how do you call that? Negligible costs that you just can't factor in. You just don't know, just have to create a buffer for them, okay? Number three, revise your cost of goods for every shipment and adjust your retail price accordingly. I mentioned it a little bit. If you, in the Q1 of 2021, your shipping price of a container was $7,000. Q2, it was like $10,000. Q3 was like $17,000. Q4 is probably $22,000, right? You have to keep revising your cost of goods. So when the batch that you paid $17,000 for in shipping, when it arrives on Amazon, increase your price. Raise your price too. If you don't want to be sorry for you at the end of the day, raise up your price. If it costs you $1 more to ship a product, raise your price by $1.50 or $2. It's not your fault that the shipping went up. So you also adjust accordingly, okay? So you have to constantly revise your cost of goods for every shipment and adjust your retail price accordingly so that you can be on top of it and you can, guarantee that you're profitable. Number four, using wrong HCS code will kill your margins. We get a lot of inquiries here, and we discover many people are using the wrong HCS code and they're paying 25%. Some of them are paying 30% duties in the US when they're supposed to be paying only 7%. They were using the wrong HTS code. And we were like, look, you're using the wrong HTS code. They said, what is that? I said, well, it's the code you use to classify your products as you're bringing to the US. They said, I've never heard of that before. So you're relying on your freight forwarder, who is probably a non-US person, to file your US import. That's where the problem is. You're relying on them to interpret a US document, an English document, and they're not English speaking people, right? In order for you to start saving now, you should reassess your HTS codes and find the right ones that will save you a lot of money on import. Let's say you're buying $100,000 worth of goods every year, and you're paying 25% duty instead of paying $3,000. That means you're paying $25,000 instead of $3,000 on a $100,000 shipment, right? If you had rightly classified your HCS, you would have saved yourself $22,000. How much does it cost to reclassify? We do it for $397. For just $397, you can save yourself $22,000 or more per year. I've saved some people. Some of my brands, we've saved over $100,000 just per year, just in tariffs, by reclassifying their tariffs. So look at where your cost of goods are going. This is what kills the margins. These are the things that kill your margins. Don't make these mistakes in 2022. All right. The number 5 thing is you're using HS codes instead of HTS codes. Using HS codes to bring your goods into the US instead of using HTS codes will destroy your goods, will destroy your business like this in a heartbeat. When you ask your supplier in China, what import code should I use to import my goods into the US? They will give you an HS code. And then you use that HS code, you give it to your freight forwarder, and your freight forwarder files your import and says, hey, Jack or Lucy, you're going to be paying 25%. He doesn't know, he doesn't care to research. He's not the one paying the bills. You are the one paying that bill. So you need to check it. Do not use HS codes to bring your goods into the US. It's detrimental. Okay. Reach out to me on Facebook or whatever. Send me an email, savings@HONU Worldwide. We can help you solve that problem easily, so that I can start saving real fast. Number 6 is use a new generation 3PL, not just any warehouse. A lot of old school warehouses are trying to get into 3PL, and then they call themselves a 3PL. And then you want to send your products to Amazon, and they're slapping different labels on your product. They don't even know which one goes where. That's why you have stranded inventory problems. That's why many people have stranded inventory problems. Receive? Your 3PL should be able to spot if you're making a mistake. Even when you create your shipment, even by looking at the labels you give us at our 3PL here, by just looking at the shipping labels you give us, we know whether there's a problem or not. We're like, these labels are not the right label. Some people argue with me. Some brand owners like, no, my label is right. I'm like, no, your label is wrong. You need to do it again, right? So you need to find yourself a new generation 3PL. There's just a very handful of them, very few of them out there. Please find the right ones. If you don't have anyone, we are on the East Coast here. We're in Pennsylvania. So you have to ship your goods to New York, New Jersey. If you need help, please reach out to me on Facebook or reach out to me, savings@honuworldwide.com. You need to know somebody's got your back. Because if you send a product into Amazon with the wrong labels, Amazon is going to make you take everything back. You're going to pay to send it. You're going to pay to send it back to yourself, right? I'm just trying to make us avoid all this unnecessary fees that are piling up on our cost of goods, okay? Number 7, use a 3PL that understands Amazon and e-commerce. Yep. If you're selling e-commerce, if you're selling on Amazon, make sure your 3PL understands it, understand those marketplaces. If not, they're going to cause you a lot of problem. I've seen so many people switch their products to us from a warehouse. A warehouse trying to act as a 3PL, they don't understand what standards go into Amazon. If we're unloading some trucks here and we see a box that is longer than 25 inches, we're like, this box is wider than Amazon standard. This box is heavier. And we go weigh, we're like, oh my God, this is 50 pounds. Amazon will penalize you for a 50-pound box. It's overweight. So we tell them, guys, if you can use a box that is a little smaller, and instead of you packing 200 units in a box, can you just pack like 100 and use 2 boxes? Because you're going to get charged $75 per box, $75 per box in penalties if you use a box a carton that is wider than normal, and if your box is heavier, Amazon will charge you overweight fees, right? Okay, we're wrapping up for our I'm looking at the time for our Q&A. I want to run through this real quick, and then we do Q&A. So last session, I said you should sit down. A key to your success in 2022 is to sit down and have a planning session with your 3PL. These are the topics to discuss with your 3PL. I'll go over it real quick, and then we'll go into Q&A, okay? When you sit down with your 3PL, have this slide in your hands and go over it with them so they can help you for 2022. Because 2022, you're going to rely a lot on your 3PL because we have no clue what Amazon is doing. If you're selling on Amazon, we have no clue what they're doing, what they're going to do. After the port congestion is over, there's going to be a logistical nightmare in Amazon's warehouses on the West Coast. So if you need to switch to the East Coast, it may be better for you. It may be a better plan. There is a friend of mine that I told him not to ship to the West Coast because of the nature of his product, and he didn't listen. Now he missed out on Q4. He missed out on all the Christmas sales. I'm like, no, these products ship it to the East Coast. He said, but it's going to cost me $5,000 more to ship. I said, yeah, it's going to cost you $5,000 more, but you're going to lose $200,000 if you do not take advantage of the Christmas sales of your product. He didn't listen. But anyway, so it's good. It's stuck somewhere in California now, on the water somewhere. I don't know. But these are all the questions you're going to ask your 3PL when you have a session with them. First, a warehouse is not the same as a 3PL. I told you that. The goal of a 3PL is to help you save money, not to spend more. I know some 3PLs want to dig in and charge as much as possible. Look, in our 3PL here, we want to move your goods fast. We don't like touching it all the time. It comes in, we want it to move. In fact, we are really, in 2022, we really want to invest a lot in robots, in using robots or using whatever mechanism to reduce human errors or to reduce human reliance or dependencies, right? We don't want to be touching products all over. We want to move a lot of products. We want to make sure your products ship out on time. We want to make sure everything is good, rather than be touching or trying to suck you for every little dime here and there, okay? Your 3PL should be your partner or an extension of your business, okay? We should be a partner. We want to be your partner. We want to plan together with you. We want to help you save money. We want to make life easy for you. We don't want you to be worrying about how your goods move from China, whatever. We want to be your supply chain solutions partner. from your country of departure to your end user. We want to take that burden off of your shoulder. Okay? That's what a 3PL should do. Anyway, let's go through what you should be discussing with your 3PL in 5 minutes. In 2022, right now, before 2022, right now, this month, if you can sit down with your 3PL and have this discussion with them, it will be lovely. Number one, your product sales trend. Let your 3PL know your product seasonality, sales trends, sales trajectory, so they can help you find ways to save and prepare storage for you. God forbid your product spike or your product hits the sales, the biggest season, and your 3PL is full. What do you think you're going to do? Your product's already on water. You have 10 containers on water approaching your 3PL, and then you contact your 3PL, and your 3PL says, oh my God, we are full. You're going to put it on water? Where are you going to? Right? So please have a sit down with your 3PL, plan together with them. Let them know your seasonality. Let them know your sales trend so that we can prepare space for you. We can, watch and say, okay, in February to April, we need to prepare 200 pallet spaces for brand A, because brand A is the busiest season. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on this. It's no brainer. Number two, your yearly order frequency. Do you order quarterly, bi-monthly, or monthly? Do you plan to reduce your dependence on Amazon site storage? What's your end goal? How do you order? Give us your order schedule so that we can have your receiving schedule at a 3PL, so that we can save you on storage. If we know your order schedule, we can help you plan so that your product will not be sitting for too long in our storage, right? Right? So we'll help you plan. That will save you a lot of money. If you have 50 pallets at $20, $25 a pallet, but if you plan very well, maybe you're supposed to just have 20 pallets for every month. 20 pallets come in and they go. The next month they come in and they go. They come in and they go. You are going to save yourself a lot of money by doing that. Number three, how to reduce or eliminate Amazon's long-term storage fees. Amazon's fees are very high. That's why you should plan with your 3PL a strategy, a game plan that both of you will use to eliminate or reduce long-term storage fees from Amazon. Number four, how you ship your products. Your 3PL can help you plan cost-saving strategy on how you ship from your origin to final destinations. You may be able to consolidate with other cargos coming into the same 3PL. Remember I said supply chain, a seamless, all-in-one, one-stop shop for your supply chain. Like that's what we're doing in HONU now. You're going to start seeing us promote that a lot in the next year. From point A to Z, we want to take that burden off of your shoulder. We want to help you with cost savings. If you only have 3 pallets worth of goods, instead of shipping by third party LCL, maybe we have another container we're loading very close to where your supplier is. We'll go pick it up for you and put it in our container and consolidate. You're going to save a lot of money if it's coming straight to our 3PL. These are all the things you should sit down and discuss with your 3PL. Number 5, how to avoid unforeseen or unexpected handling charges. You can avoid many 3PL handling charges by fixing small stuff, such as packaging type, container loading configuration, and other cargo tips. We receive so many goods here, and the packaging is bad. They're trying to skimp on their packaging. They're sending us 7 or 8 SKUs, and all the SKUs are mixed together. They're not nicely arranged and stuff like that. Every time we spend so much time sorting your products to put it on a pallet, guess what? We're charging you, because it's a lot of work to sort your products on different pallets before we can store it. But we could have told you that when you're loading your container in India or Malaysia or wherever you're loading your container, we want you to load them SKU by SKU. Same SKU first, and then the next same SKU, and then the next same SKU. Don't put SKU A and C together and mumbo jumbo them together. You're going to get charged for sorting it at your destination, okay? This is what you plan with your 3PL. Number 6, thorough product inspection at origin. We want you to inspect your product so that we don't have to inspect it for you. We don't want to inspect your product here if we don't have to. But if we have to, we will inspect it for you. But do you want to pay US inspection cost or you want to pay origin inspection cost? It's going to be really cheaper for your product to be inspected in China than to be inspected in the US, right? So let us help you make sure all the common problems we see in your product, when we receive them, we'll communicate them with you and we'll help you plan ahead and say, okay, don't let us do this thing anymore. Make sure your supplier fix this. Make sure your supplier fix that, so that when it gets to us, we don't have to touch anything. We unload your product, we put it on a pallet, we wrap it, boom, we put it on the rack. Done. When we're ready to send it out, we bring it out, and then we send it out get it out of the way. That's how we like to operate as a 3PL. We don't want to be touching stuff all the time. All right, number 7, how to send your product from your 3PL to Amazon. I see a lot of people waste tons of money in this thing. Right here, this number 7, a lot of people waste a lot of money. They're sending 80 boxes by SPD, 80 boxes by UPS, Amazon partner carrier UPS to Amazon's destination. I'm like, what? That's a lot. That's going to increase your cost of goods. Why don't you do LTL? LTL means just less than a truckload. So tell Amazon you're going to be shipping on a pallet. Pick pallet. When you're shipping out your goods, pick pallets. Tell them you're doing pallets and pick that. Okay? Sometimes even your LTLs may not be the good idea. It might be an FTL, which is a full truckload. Go to freight.amazon.com and go and register as a freight, register for a freight account, so that if you have 10 or 12 pallets or more, it's better for Amazon to send an empty truck to you, a full empty truck to come get it and send it and take it straight to Amazon's warehouses. It's cheaper. In most cases, it's cheaper. I've saved a lot of our customers here. I've saved them thousands and thousands of dollars just with this one tip. Okay? Reach out to me on Facebook. Send us savings at HONU Worldwide. Book a Zoom call with me. I can help you out. 2022, don't make the same mistake. Number 8, set up for automatic FBM fulfillment. Do you want to sell multiple channel or do you have FBM listings? If you run out in Christmas, if Amazon restricts you from sending to their warehouses, switch to FBM. But talk to your 3PL so that they can integrate you properly and start shipping your FBM orders as well. I have a lot of brands doing it now and they're killing it. They're crushing it. It makes a lot of difference. Number 9, negotiate special rates for fast movers and oversized products. Right here, there's some brands here, they are saving a lot of money because we saw that their products are fast movers and we saw some of their products were oversized products. So we were able to negotiate a better rate with them. And we're able to plan, the fast movers were able to plan for them and say, look, for your fast movers, we would unload and put them on the floor. We will not rack them immediately. When we unload and put them on the floor, knowing that they're going to leave our warehouse in less than 5 days, we'll help them. We'll help you. All the fees that you're supposed to pay, we would not charge you for those because they are fast movers, right? These are all the reasons why you should talk to your 3PL and plan. Okay. All right. Last one. Product returns and disposals. Are you going to be getting product returns? Do you need help disposing your product? Talk to your 3PL. Because Amazon will charge you your mother's ham and a leg to do all these things. I know product returns are very difficult sometimes. They're kind of a pain to deal with product returns. So not all 3PLs like to do product returns, and I don't blame them for it. It's just a pain to do it. But we will take care of it for you. Just let us know. Plan ahead of time. If you're going to have these returns, do you want us to dispose them, or do you want us to clean them up and put them back in your inventory? Okay. All right, Q&A. This is what I've been waiting for. Let's do it. Do we have Q&A? Any questions? Yeah.
All right. Well, I think our audience has been a little shy. They haven't had any questions in. So
Okay.
if you do have any questions, anyone watching, you can put it in the comment section and let us know. We'd be happy to answer. If you think of a question afterwards, that's no problem at all. Just email Afolabi at savings@HONUWorldwide.com. And we can get that to you. So we'll wait just a few more minutes just to see if we get any more questions. But during this time, I'll just put this up. If you enjoyed today's session, please like this video. You can share it. Also follow us on social media. That always helps get you those notifications when we do go live. If you have a topic for next week's or an episode, 2 weeks from now, let us know. We'd be happy to take a look and see if we can help answer your questions. And
Awesome.
yeah, if you're looking to contact Afolabi or HONU Worldwide, we have the HONU Worldwide website, HONUWorldwide.com, and email Afolabi at savings@HONUWorldwide.com. All right,
Awesome.
and hello, Victor. How are you doing? Good to see
Hi,
you.
Victor.
Also, give a shout out to Jacob for joining us as well. It's
Hi,
good to
Jacob.
see you guys. So it's great hanging out with everyone. Again, if there's no other questions, we'll end this. But yeah, that's it for me. Afolabi, is there any other final words of advice about this topic?
Is there a way we can put how do we give them access to the slides?
Yeah,
Is
so
it
I think
on the bottom of the YouTube video, or how does it
yeah,
work?
so I include a link on the YouTube videos where people can get the slides. So
Awesome.
it will be available.
Awesome.
It takes a few minutes just to upload it afterwards, but that is available.
Okay. Awesome.
And yeah. All right. So thank you everyone for joining. Afolabi, anything
Thanks,
else?
everyone. No, enjoy. We're going to see you again in 2 weeks. If you have a question or if you have a topic that you want me to cover, please, send it to us or post it here or post it to Kelsey. We would be, we'll be willing to help you, bring it on here to make it a topic of discussion, and we'll go over everything so that everybody can learn and have a better business.
Yeah. Victor's just asking, let him know about the wood species. Do you know?
Oh, wood species. Do you want us to? Is it a public thing or a private thing, Victor?
I think we're going to do a private conversation. But anyways, thank you guys for joining. Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
So thank you, everyone. And we'll
All
see
right,
you guys
everyone.
2 weeks from now. All right.
All
Have a
right,
good
see you.
rest of your day.